What's up, fuckers, and welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K23 Next Gen. In today's video, we're going to be going back to some historic rebuilds, and today with 2002-2003 Minnesota Timberwolves. So this was the Kevin Garnett era in Minnesota. We're just a few years away before he ended up getting traded to the Boston Celtics, but obviously our goal today is to keep him, get these Timberwolves a championship, and that's going to be pretty hard because the rest of this roster is not so talented. Wally Szczerbiak is here, so he's definitely another foundational piece for us. But other than that, I don't think there's anybody on this team after looking at this roster that I really want to keep in the long run. And finally, before we do get into this video right now, I want to hear from you guys down below in the comment section. As I mentioned in my video yesterday, we kind of have a new schedule moving forward. The way we're going to do it is obviously I'm in the middle of doing the trading every player rebuilds right now. That is going to be a 30-team series where we do every single team. So we're going to do 2 of those a week. We're going to do 2 historic teams a week, and then we're going to do 1 challenge a week. Typically, I only post Monday through Friday. So let me know down below in the comment sections which ones of those rebuilds do you want to see and which way. Obviously, I need teams for the trading every player rebuilds. I need teams for the historic rebuilds, and I need ideas for challenges. So it is all up to you guys. Basically, as always, of course, I do have ideas of my own, but I always love doing the content that you guys definitely do want to see. So let me know down below in the comment section. And yeah, man, without further ado, I'm excited to be back doing historic rebuilds. Let's see if we can get KG a ring, before he went to the Celtics. See you guys in there. Let's dive in and take a quick look at this Timberwolves roster, because again, we do have Kevin Garnett, obviously one of the most talented power forwards in NBA history. We do have Wally Szczerbiak, who's definitely a serviceable player to have on this team, but other than that, there's not a ton of talent, and it's also a relatively old team. So let's just get into it. We have Terrell Brandon here, who is decent, I will say. Looking at his numbers right here, I did check those out. 12.5 and 8. I can kind of live with that. He's just 32, and it makes me a little bit nervous to have a player who's somewhat that old. And he is making $10 million a year, basically, which was a lot for this point in time in 2002, 2003. So we'll figure out where we go with him. He'll probably be our point guard definitely for this year, just because I don't think we're going to find an upgrade. But we'll see what ends up happening with him. We have Rod Strickland backing him up, who's now up to 36 years old. And not a long-term option. I have no idea who Vincent Beck or Willie McLeod are. I doubt they're even probably real people. Anthony Peeler here at the starting shooting guard spot. He has an A3, so I can definitely live with that. The numbers aren't terrible. He shot 39% from 3, so I can definitely live with those shooting numbers. I just am going to think we're going to need an upgrade at some point in time. And again, 32 years old, that's right in that 2K regression window. We have Kendall Gill here as well, and then Felipe Lopez, who I'm not going to pretend I know who it is. Wally Szczerbiak here at the starting small forward spot. I'm very excited to have him here. He has an A-plus three-point shot. He's without a doubt the second best player on this team right now. He's somebody I want here probably for the remainder of the video. Then we do have Joe Smith backing him up on a pretty decent deal himself, Mr. Joe Smith. And then let's get to the power forward spot. We have Kevin Garnett. One of my favorite players in NBA history, because he was probably, I hate to say it, I love Paul Pierce, but he was probably the best player on that Celtics championship team back in 2008. We have Gary Trent backing him up, and then Reggie Slater, who I'm not going to pretend I know who that is. Center spot, we have Mark Jackson, 74 overall on a 5-year contract, $21 million, so about $4.2 million bucks a year. It is what it is. I have no idea who Harold May or Jerry Stoudemire sounds familiar, but I don't know. We definitely are going to make some trades. We can take a look at this upcoming draft class as well. This is obviously the one of the best draft classes in NBA history. You have LeBron, Carmelo, Chris Bosh, D Wade. I mean, there's any of those 4 guys would be awesome to have on this team. Let me make sure we have our draft pick. I'm pretty sure we do. Yes, we do. There's definitely probably going to be a way that I can sneak myself into the top 4, which is something we're probably going to have to look at some point in time. But as of now, we're going to make some trades because this is an old team and this is not really a good team. Let's get into some moves. Our first trade is going to be coming with the Orlando Magic. We're going to be sending them Reggie Slater and Vincent Beck for center Andrew DeCleric. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but we need a backup center. That's trade 1 in the books. And our final trade before we do start sim in year 1 is coming with the Detroit Pistons, Felipe Lopez, Willie McLeod, going over there for a first-round pick. Basically, it came down to I don't need 3 shooting guards on this roster. So I'll take the first-round pick in 2005. We're going to go ahead and set the rotation. Here's how it's going to be for year 1. It's an interesting team. I kind of want to get through this season, hopefully have a good pick. It is Terrell Brandon, Anthony Peeler, Wally Szczerbiak, Kevin Garnett, and Mark Jackson. Bench unit, Joe Smith, Kendall Gill, Rod Strickland, Andrew DeCleric, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right, and Gary Trent. Is what it is. I'll see you guys at the end of year 1. Year 1 comes to an end here in Minnesota. Kevin Garnett wins an MVP award. That's pretty cool to see. I think technically we're like a year before he actually won it in real life. We also finished with a record of 52-30, which I also am pretty sure is kind of on par with how many wins this team actually had back then as well. So KG winning an MVP, obviously awesome to see. You got Yao Ming winning Rookie of the Year, Jay Williams, 6th Man of the Year in Chicago. Mr. Ben Wallace winning Defensive Player of the Year in Detroit. Big Z, Most Improved, and Don Nelson wins Coach of the Year. As I mentioned, 52 and 34, so that was good enough for a 4 spot here where we have the Lakers in the first round. I'm not sure how Kobe and Shaq translate to a 5 seed, but nonetheless, they I didn't mean to do that. Nonetheless, they do, which is obviously not what we're looking for. Let's look at the numbers for us here. Kevin Garnett leads us in probably pretty much every statistical category, probably besides assists. Wally Szczerbiak was really solid as well. Terrell Brandon. We have Joe Smith coming off the bench. Mark Jackson, not bad for our starting center, 9.5 and 7. And look, again, I totally get it that it's not going to be like a current rebuild. You're going to have a lot more lower 70 overalls in your rotation and maybe even a couple in your starting lineup than you would have in a normal rebuild, just because of how a lot of these players are rated, which I totally get. I've seen it throughout my time doing these historic rebuilds, and I fully understand it. KG leads us in boards, and then Terrell Brandon does lead us in assists. Let's also look at the standings. We can finish out and see everybody's record. I'm not sure how the Lakers were a 52-win team. I mean, again, Kobe and Shaq should easily translate to a top 2 seed here in a very good West. I mean, obviously San Antonio here with Tim Duncan, Dallas here with Dirk. I mean, it's not a fun place to play. So, as I mentioned, we have the Lakers here in the first round. Not my favorite team to play. I wouldn't be surprised if we lost here, but we can maybe put up a little bit of a fight here with MVP Kevin Garnett. We do end up losing in 5. I'm not really surprised by that. I think the Lakers are probably more like a 1 or a 2 seed, but they go on to win the finals. At least we can say we lost to the team that ended up winning it all, and Shaq goes on to win finals MVP. They beat the Bucks, actually. Interesting to see the Milwaukee Bucks in there. All right, the player retirements. Let's see if there's just anybody from our team here. Scottie Pippen calls it a career at age 37 over there in Portland. Stockton, obviously 41 years old now, still an 84 overall. You got Mark Bryant, Avery Johnson. So it looks like Michael Jordan's still going to be here. Yeah, he is. But I don't see any Timberwolves, which is... Oh, wait, yes, I do. I'm dumb as hell. Rod Strickland calls it a career. That kind of sucks because we could have used him, Kendall Gill. Well, maybe it'll free up some money. I hope it does, because we are basically screwed without those 2 players. Hall of Fame inductees, Pippen and Stockton, obviously both very well deserving. We can look at some historic changes. This is obviously a lot to do with like the uniforms and the floor and everything like that, but I don't see us here. I mean, there's a whole lot of L's that are happening there because there's so many cool historic, uniforms and logos they took away for no reason whatsoever. All right, let's end the draft lottery. We definitely don't have a pick in this. We do end up with the 25th overall pick, which is nice. I'd like to move up into that top 4, though, because I really do want one of those top guys in this draft class, because I think we definitely need it, especially with the way that this all my retirements are going and everything like that. Isn't Flip Saunders the head coach of this team? Ricky Smith, you don't really have good ratings, so yeah. I mean, I highly doubt Greg Popovich is going to want to come here. I'll also put out an offer to Stauffer, just because I'm definitely going to need a good head coach. I didn't think Pop was going to come here, but I will take Mike Stauffer, who has perfect ratings. We will now hit the 2003 draft, one of the most infamous drafts in NBA history. If I'm thinking of guys that I really want here, I mean, obviously any of them. I would take literally any of them at this point in time. I'm kind of thinking Dwayne Wade, though. He's not a guy I've drafted ever in these historic rebuilds, and he's somebody I think I'd really like to have on this team. So obviously, I don't know the order. I'm assuming without a doubt LeBron goes 1. So I might have to make a push to get that number 2 pick, and that's not an easy thing to do. Let's see if we can maybe make a trade to get up there. I'll let you guys know, obviously, but I'll work on it. I have no idea if this is possible. We are offering a whole lot right now to the Seattle Supersonics in hopes of moving up to the number 2 selection. I did not think that was going to go through. I'll give up another first-round pick as well if it means getting myself Dwayne Wade, and it does. That's obviously awesome because we get, a bona fide superstar, one of the best shooting guards in NBA history on this team. I'm assuming Detroit. Son of a bitch. They put me in a tough spot now. Because I want Dwayne Wade, but how idiotic would it be for me to pass on LeBron James in this situation? Oh, Detroit. Well, I guess they screwed up the 2003 draft once. Why not do it again? But, I have Wally Szczerbiak. I get it. I want Dwayne Wade. I can't pass on LeBron. It would just be way too idiotic for me to pass on LeBron James in a situation like this. This is a second-round pick we have here. I have no idea who these people are. Patrick Turner. I mean, sure, why not? I can't. I get it. I've gotten LeBron before, and after we continue to... he's an 84 overall. It's not happening. I'm not passing on him. After this one, though, I will not get LeBron James for a long time, though. Which is just crazy because I don't know how Detroit screws it up that bad. I mean, I get it, but, I'm not saying Chris Bosh is a bad player. It's just a tough situation to be in. We don't really have a ton of money right now, which is somewhat understandable. Wally Szczerbiak's whose that money is. I'm going to pay Wally Szczerbiak because I need him back, even though, honestly, I might go ahead and trade him now. I really might, because obviously we have LeBron there. starting at the small forward spot now. And it's not to say Wally Szczerbiak maybe couldn't find a spot on this team. I mean, maybe could move him to the shooting guard spot at only 6'7", but you know, I'd probably like to get an upgrade just in general. So I'm going to look at trade offers for him. Nothing's going to be solidified, but obviously now having LeBron, we are in a pretty good spot. We definitely also need to find ourselves a starting center. So we're going to make some moves. Let's get into them. We're going to do this trade with Dallas. Now, hear me out for a second. We're going to send Wally Szczerbiak a second, a first, and Terrell Brandon over to Dallas for Michael Finley and Nick Van Exel. Now, I know we don't need a small forward, and that's exactly what Michael Finley is. He's somebody I'm probably going to flip into a starting center. We pick up Nick Van Exel, who either is going to be my starting shooting guard. I might even move to point guard. He's 6'1", average pretty decent assists. So we get this trade done. I didn't want to necessarily trade Terrell Brandon, but he was also getting on a little bit of the older side. So I don't necessarily want to start Anthony Peeler either. But, you know, we're in a tough spot right now. So I am going to flip Michael Finley now, and either for a center or a point guard, and I'll show you guys that trade. Now I'm going to do this trade with Sacramento, and I'm probably going to be trading Vlade Divac immediately just because he's 35. We're going to get Bobby Jackson, Vlade Divac for Michael Finley, and another first-round pick. I get it, we're giving up a ton of assets, but I want to solidify this team to be a top 2-3 seed here in the West and hopefully compete for championships. So Bobby Jackson is going to come in, going to be my new starting point guard. Vlade Divac is a little bit on the older side now at 35, which makes me nervous, and he's an expiring contract, so I'd rather trade him for hopefully a different center and then be able to go out. Theo Ratliff, I have no idea who you are. I'm not even going to pretend I know who he is. I just need somebody who I can confidently say will not retire after this season. So Antonio Davis is 34, also makes me a little bit nervous. At least we're getting offered some good centers. Penny Hardaway, I'd love to have him. He's just 32, and he's not a center. All right, you know what? I guess Theo Ratliff is my answer. You know, he's on a 3-year deal. And we only have to give up a second-round pick. I mean, his numbers don't blow me out of the water with, you know, basically 8.5 points, 10 boards. But you know what? It's definitely an upgrade to what we had. And now we officially have a starting 5 figured out of all 80-plus overalls, which is obviously cool. So I think I'm going to rock with KG not having a backup. Eventually, LeBron won't need a backup. Patrick Turner, I drafted you. I don't need you. Can I just get does anybody want to be dumb and give me a first-round pick or maybe somebody that can throw in my rotation? Jerron Collins. You know what, let me do this. I honestly think I could probably get a draft pick for Jerron Collins here. I'm just doing some housekeeping stuff right now. Beautiful. Just because I kind of need to right now. So, all right, we have basically everything we need. We need a backup point guard and a backup small forward. And obviously we don't have a ton of money here. How about Walter McCarty? Welcome to the team. It would have been cool to have Vlade. I like Vlade a lot. He just honestly didn't really fit the timeline of this team. I'll sign Earl Boykins to a 2-year deal. Fine by me, and it gets us a backup. All right, this team's looking a whole lot different, but we made the moves that I think we needed to make. I'll see you guys at the start of year 2. So there's 2 things about this team that definitely make me a little bit nervous. One would be the regression on guys like Nick Van Exel. As you see, he's down to a 79 overall, and I get it. How old is he? 31, 32? Yeah, he's 31 at this point. He had a little bit of a down year last year in the points department. It doesn't make me too nervous. That's not my main concern. My main concern right now is how bad this bench sucks. And yeah, it's not a great bench, and it definitely is something that we're going to have to worry about. But it's a 9-man rotation. They're playing as few minutes as I possibly can give them. And here's how it's going to look. It's Bobby Jackson, Nick Van Exel, LeBron James, Kevin Garnett, and Theo Ratliff. Or Ratliff, not Ratcliffe. In our starting 5. Bench unit, we have Earl Boykins, Anthony Peeler, Mark Jackson, and Walter McCarty. This is something I'll work on this offseason, but as of now, it's as good as it's going to get. Let's see what happens, man. We definitely upgraded this team. I'll see you guys at the end of year 2. So I was nervous about our bench, and to be honest with you, I'm definitely still nervous about our bench, but we ended up going 60 and 22, so it looked like that starting 5 definitely carried us a whole lot, and I'm hoping that the playoff run goes pretty well. Shaq does win MVP. I mean, he's an absolute monster. No doubt in that. LeBron does win Rookie of the Year for us. Actually looks pretty clean in that Minnesota Timberwolves jersey. I love those T-Wolves, throwback historic jerseys. He averaged 24 points, 8. I mean, obviously, Detroit's probably kicking themselves in the balls right now. Melo West wins 6 Man of the Year. Oh my God, those Memphis jerseys fire me up. KG does win Defensive Player of the Year. A few years earlier, I believe, from when he actually won in 2007, 2008, I believe. Lamar Odom, Most Improved. George Karl, oh God. Coach of the Year. We take the 1 spot here in the West, which is obviously awesome at 16-22. Probably should have been Stauffer winning Coach of the Year, but nonetheless, I don't really care because all I care about is going out, winning a chip. It was LeBron and KG, kind of our 2-headed monster in the scoring department. Nick Van Exel, Bobby Jackson also definitely contributed. Earl Boykins, Theo Ratliff, Mark Jackson, Peeler, McCarty. The bench is the bench. We kind of knew what we were getting ourselves into, but it is what it is. We got Dallas. Not a fun team to face in round 1. Steve Nash, I traded them all. Szczerbiak, obviously. I kind of miss him here. I'm honestly not mad that we moved him, though. We kind of maximized 1 asset and turned it into 2. So I'm really not, terribly upset about it, but I definitely do miss Wally Szczerbiak. He played really well for us, and if I have some Timberwolves fans, they might not be too happy with me. We do end up winning in 5, and fuck, god damn it, we got the Lakers. 99 overall, Kobe Bryant, who's been averaging 39 points a game in the playoffs so far, and Shaq, who's been averaging 27.5 and 15 so far in the playoffs. Awesome. They did beat the Spurs, though, so I give them credit. At least I don't have to face Timmy Duncan, the big fundamental. That would have been a fun matchup, Kevin Garnett against Tim Duncan, and we win. And we're in the Western Conference Finals taking on the Phoenix Suns. Stephon Marbury, Penny Hardaway, Sean Marion, Stoudemire, Scott Williams. Oh, they have a pretty good bench. All right, so let's see what happens. I honestly think the Lakers scared me a little bit more. We're up 2-1 right now. We're 2-2 with them. We go down 3-2, going to Game 7, and we're in the NBA Finals, taking on the Magic. I get it. You have T-Mac, but, Mike Miller's here, Nick Grant Hill. Well, how old is Sean Kemp at this point? He's 34. All right. I mean, I guess it's cool. You know what? I'll try to get a little bit of gameplay here. Why not? Why the hell not? I think we're going to obviously beat the Magic here unless we historically blow a 3-0 lead. But we're winning this game, it looks like. So let's get a little bit of gameplay with Kevin Garnett and the rest of this squad. Obviously, LeBron's here. I'll see you guys in there. We are here in Orlando. You gotta love that old historic court here in Game 4. I love the historic scoreboard, too. What would this be? Technically Game 4. I think we're up 3-0. And, yeah, I have not actually hopped in a game of 2K in quite some time, so I'm going to be pretty bad. I'm not going to lie to you. KG with 30, 13, and 8 on the night. God damn. Oh, I'm so happy he came to my Celtics. I really am. I don't know what, would have happened if he never came here. I mean, obviously, we probably wouldn't have won a championship, which would have sucked. T-Mac with the step back. Yeah, that's going to happen. Tracy McGrady is Tracy McGrady. What is that comparison right there? Why is that the player comparison? Yeah, press LeBron James. Put Mike Miller on LeBron James, because that's going to go well. I mean, don't put your fucking nuts to his forehead. It's Mike Miller. Come on. Jesus Christ, LeBron. We're being too nice right now. I get it. We are trying to close out an NBA Finals here. And you know what? We're obviously going to win this one. Ooh. Don't do it to him. Okay, we're not doing it to him. Give me a pick for LeBron. LeBron, Sean. What the hell was... Did you just try to... Did Sean Kemp just try to take a charge? Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's... Ooh. Not the greatest free throw I've ever taken in my life. Let's see. What the fuck? All right, that's a horrible free throw release. I'm not gonna lie to you, LeBron. Grant Hill here has had. I don't even know who that was. That's a block. Thank you. I'll take that. Kick it up. Give it to LeBron. And yeah, thanks for coming, Grant. Thank you. No free throws, LeBron. I've learned my lesson there. But definitely can dunk the basketball with him. I think that's a pretty good spot to start out. In LeBron's rookie season here in Minnesota, he's going to be getting a championship. Probably not going to get Finals MVP. As weird as that sounds, it's probably going to go to Kevin Garnett if I had to guess. But you know what? I have them both, so I don't really mind. LeBron, you know what? 30-year-old LeBron would have finished with the contact. I'll see you guys with the Finals MVP. We do go on to sweep the Orlando Magic in 4 games when we get that championship here in Minnesota. Kevin Garnett wins Finals MVP. Really no surprise there. He was an absolute stud for us. That's awesome. Let's look at player retirements. Hopefully we didn't get screwed anywhere. I'll look for Timberwolves, and I don't see any Timberwolves, which is awesome. I don't care too much. Ooh, Phil Jackson calls it a career. All right, let's just head up to some historic changes. I know sometimes people are curious about these. Now, this is the fattest L of all time. Changing this Grizzlies logo, it was so goddamn cool, and I get they've brought back the jerseys now, but just such an L. Such an L. We're definitely not going to have a draft pick here, which is fine. Trailblazers end up with the #1 overall pick. I think I traded my draft pick this year. Stauffer's not going anywhere. Actually, no, I don't think I did trade my draft pick this year. So let me double check on that. Oh, no, I did. I guess I did. I just missed it. We're not going to be drafting anybody, which is fine. We have no team player options. Adam Harrington. Who? No, thank you. Actually, I've heard Adam Harrington before. Oh, shit. Okay. Well, this is, excuse me, my #1 priority without a doubt. Nobody's even giving him a real contract. Kevin Garnett, how about you come back here to Boston? I'd also like Anthony Peeler back. He's going to regress. Okay, KJ's back. Obviously, my #1 priority. We will take a look at how this team's kind of laid out after this. Getting Kevin Garnett back was obviously my #1 priority. So, obviously, this team is still pretty old, and that definitely does make me a little bit nervous. I think I'd probably like to get... I mean, I don't need to make an upgrade that's like that significant. Obviously, I need to get somebody here to back up LeBron. George, why do I feel like I've seen this dude in like current rebuilds? I have no idea. Honestly, though, he wouldn't be a bad backup center. I mean, I'll bring him in. Be good enough. Cool. That's a new upgrade at the backup center spot. And then now I'm going to trade Mark Jackson, and I'll also trade Mark Jackson, and I will combine him with, let's see, who's getting old? Herb Boykins is a high enough overall. I'll combine him probably here. Yeah. Anthony Peeler. I don't know. He's just getting a little bit old. So small forwards, shooting guards. That's what I'm looking for right now. George Lynch, 33 years old. Scalabrine, not really a small forward or shooting guard, but I do love Scal. I don't really love him in the commentary booth. I'm not going to lie, though. George Lynch is 33. I mean, I don't know. What happens if I just trade Mark Jackson? Do I get any better offers? Ooh, DeMar Johnson, 24 years old. Honestly, played really well last year in Boston. Let me pick up DeMar Johnson. Cool. Welcome to the Celtics. Going to be backing up LeBron. And then now I guess I'll trade, where the hell is he? Anthony Peeler, and I'll do 2 draft picks. See if we can just get somebody just a little bit younger at the starting shooting guard spot. Antonio Daniels. Honestly, I might just do it just because it's the final year. You know, why not? Antonio Daniels, welcome to Minnesota. We are officially all set. I will see you guys at the start of the third and final year. It is officially the final season for us here in Minnesota. This team's on the championship. A lot of the pressure is off. Of course, I'd like to win another one, but you know what? We'll see what happens. A little bit of regression here in our backcourt with Bobby Jackson and Nick Van Exel, but they're both 79 overalls, very serviceable players here, and obviously NBA champions. We have LeBron, who's up to an 89 overall at our starting small forward spot. He's playing 37 minutes a night. Next to Kevin Garnett, finals MVP now, regular season MVP now, and 38 minutes a game for the big man. We have Theo Ratcliffe still, or Ratliff. I don't know why I keep screwing that up. Starting at the center spot for us with Earl Boykins, George Brooks, Antonio Daniels, and DeMar Johnson. The bench definitely got a little bit better. I will see you guys at the end of the third and final season here in Minnesota. I did not see our exact record, but I'm assuming we were pretty good as Kevin Garnett won his second MVP of this video. You honestly love to see it. Dwight Howard wins Rookie of the Year. Ended up going number 1 overall to Portland. Pretty good. Ricky Davis, 6th man of the year. Tim Duncan does win a Defensive Player of the Year. I hadn't seen Tim Duncan in a single award, so it was kind of confusing. D Wade ends up in Cleveland. Does win, most improved player here. Obviously, it would have been fun to have D Wade, but I'm never going to pass on LeBron. We go 68-14. I guess it was another really successful season, and I'm hoping for another successful playoff run. Oh, wow, 60. Whoa. All right. Good on you, Milwaukee. Definitely building a fun team there. Let's look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. It was LeBron James, Kevin Garnett, obviously our big two-headed monster, if you will. Nick Van Exel, Bobby Jackson, George Brooks, Earl Boykins, Theo Ratcliffe, DeMar Johnson, Antonio Daniels. Rebounds, Kevin Garnett, and assists was also Kevin Garnett. We got Dallas here, round 1. Our old friend Wally Zerbiak, obviously Dirk's here. Steve Nash is here, who's, Steve Nash. Let's go see if we can beat them here in round 1. Obviously, a pretty tough first-round opponent, but I think at this point in time, we're just a lot better of a team. We're 2-2. We go up 3-2, and we do close them out in 6. We're moving on to Memphis here in round 2. Andre Miller, James Posey, Carmelo Anthony, Straw Miles Swift, Pau Gasol. Oh, baby. All right, let's see what happens here in round 2 against the Memphis Grizzlies, who, as you can see, have now changed their logo in one of the biggest L changes of all time. Them, Detroit, changed when they changed this big fat... What? Son of a bitch. That's annoying. That's really annoying. I know we could have beaten all those teams as well. Oh, goddamn. Well, you know what? We built a really good team for, how good teams are supposed to look here in these historic rebuilds. So I will take it. And honestly, I'm not too upset about it. We did get a championship here from the Minnesota people. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like down below. That would obviously be awesome. Of course, you guys are new around here. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. Join the community. We would love to have you. Other than that, man, I don't have much. As I mentioned, our schedule now, I'm really excited about it moving forward. I think it's going to be a really good balance for everybody. And if you guys have any problems with it or you have a better suggestion, let me know down below in the comment section. But other than that, I will probably see you guys tomorrow with a rebuild challenge. What that's going to be, I have no idea. Leave some down below in the comment section. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys on the next one.